Hey there guys, and welcome to Wild and Wonderful Homestead 2020. Now, we know it's been a while since we posted our last video. I think it's been about a month. But Christmas gets super busy, as you probably can imagine, with our clan. Then Mr. Tommy, he turned 5. He had a birthday just not too long back. And on top of that, we've been getting back into the swing of homeschooling after the holidays, while we've also been trying to get into the usual hustle and bustle around here with the weather and critters and work, and starting on a couple of future projects around here as well. So since it's been a while, we decided we thought it'd be a good opportunity to give you guys and any of you lot that's new to our channel just a tour and a walkthrough of the property.
Sorry.
Going a bit wonky there. To show you what's new, what we have planned for this new year, and what's changed since we started homesteading back in 2018. So we'll just show you what's going on around here.
Yeah, she will. I'm busy.
And then we'll get to work.
I've already started work.
Yeah. You get to it, you.
Yeah.
Now, we're extremely blessed because the property that we bought, all this behind us, is right next to Will's mum and dad's property. So even though we own 5 acres of property, it's more like 10 because we've just really extended the family property line. And why it's also so helpful as well is because we can help out my in-laws, my mother-in-law and father-in-law, that I actually call my second parents because I love them to bits. And also, if we need any help around here as well, they're more than happy to help. We started our homestead with 18 chicks that we bought from Tractor Supply, and we were really blessed because we didn't have any of them die or have any health problems or anything. And since then, we have now grown to owning 42 laying hens and 2 crazy roosters. We average about 30 eggs a day, even in the winter right now, so we're extremely blessed. And the eggs are absolutely amazing. And at times we get an overabundance that we just get a bit egged out, as I call it. We go ahead and sell some to friends and neighbours and people in the local community. We wanted to continue growing our little homestead here, so the first goats we ever got were Clover and Daisy, and we got them as babies. They were born April 18th, 2018, actually on Joe's birthday, and we just fell in love with them and brought them on home. Then about 2 weeks later, we were contacted by the same people we got Clover and Daisy from, and they asked us if we would be interested in Susie. So, of course, we said, yep, why not? She was already a milking goat, so instead of waiting for Clover and Daisy to grow, we were able to start milking right away. And then it wasn't long after that that Lily came along, and she was another one that the owners contacted us, see if we were interested, and of course we took her. We have grown since then to now having 11 goats, 9 girls and 2 boys. We're currently milking 4 of our goats, which are Susan, Lily, Clover and Daisy. But we are hoping to breed 6 of our girls in spring for fall babies. Now, before we got our goats, we did do a lot of research, just trying to figure out what kind of breed we wanted and what was going to work for us. And we ended up deciding on Nigerian dwarf goats because we just like that they stay small, which is helpful when you've got a lot of kids, and their milk tastes great, and we're really blessed. Our girls milk absolutely wonderful. They're really easy to milk. So if any of you out there are considering getting goats, I would highly recommend it, especially Nigerian dwarf goats, because our lot are just loving, friendly, and completely crazy. Right now we're in the process of making goat building improvements, and actually it seems like we're almost always in the process of doing that. This building right here was actually the very first goat building we built. We had 2 cattle panels. We've only got one on right now, but we had 2 cattle panels on as the roof and the top. And this worked, you know, when we first got Clover and Daisy, because we didn't need as much room. And right now we're in the process of actually tearing this one down because we've since built bigger ones. This was the second goat building we built, and again it's been one of those that we're probably going to keep for a while, and we're always upgrading and improving just to really try and use the space well and make it comfortable for our crazy goats. And last but not least is this goat building. This is the one we're currently working on, and it's a work in progress, so keep an eye out for the video to come on how we did it. We've started clearing our family area right here where we did cookouts and campfires through the summer and into fall and sometimes winter as well as spring. But we're just wanting to get it nice and cleared out, make it safe by removing any big rocks that a few of us tripped on a couple of times. And eventually we're wanting to grass seed the whole area. So again, it'll just be a nice area for us to get together as a family for whatever we need to. And also behind me here is where we started clearing for our driveway. Since we moved here and started working on the house and the property, we were using Will's mum and dad's driveway, but we just figured it's going to be pretty good to have our own driveway, especially if we're going to make this into a working farm and sell produce and other items from right here. So that's the plan, and that's what Will's working on today. He's dropping a few more of these trees because we have a few that's dead and we're worried about them falling, so they're a safety issue. And then we'll get all this cleared and eventually we'll get shell put in and it'll be a really nice driveway. This is just one of the few trees that needs to come down. As you can see, it's starting to rot out from the inside. We don't like to cut too many trees down, but when it's a safety issue we have to. But don't worry guys, we're going to be replanting more trees as we go. One of the next steps was getting a garden figured out on our property. Now where we have our garden now used to actually be an old horse pen years ago. And originally we hadn't planned on doing such a big garden, but we figured it would be better to just go ahead, get the size we want plus extra, and just see if we need it. Which it did this past spring. But before we got to planting, we had a lot of clearing to do. And the kids were great in chipping in and helping out with that. Then it was on to fencing it all in so that none of our crazy animals could get in and eat all our veggies. And last spring we planted our first lot of fruits and veggies, and it flourished and did absolutely amazing. This year we're planning on adding a few raised beds and some different varieties of veggies that we're wanting to try out. So hopefully it'll do as good this year as it did last year, and we'll just see if the raised beds are successful or not. But I think it'll be alright. And right now we have garlic growing in the bathtub, so hopefully it'll do good, especially since we go through a lot of garlic in our house. We just love it. And of course, last but not least, the house, which is our biggest project on the homestead. Right now we're still waiting to get the septic put in, and to be honest, sometimes it feels like it's never going to happen, but I know it will. It'll get done. But while we're waiting on that, we're still working on as much of the interior as we can, like finishing up the electric and the plumbing, as well as figuring out ductwork, built-in storage and things like that. But at times it feels like we're not accomplishing anything or much at all, since it's all the small nitty-gritty work. So we'll be really glad to get onto the bigger things like insulation and drywall, kitchen counters and all that good stuff. But if we've learned anything on this crazy journey of ours, it's that it all comes in God's timing. And to never forget just how far you've come. Alrighty guys, we hope to see you next time. Don't forget to hit that bell, like, subscribe, and have a wonderful evening.